Hi. So, everyone talks about maintaining healthy boundaries. What does that actually mean? It means that access to you is a privilege you're giving someone and it's not by default. Say you're sitting at home and the doorbell rings, right? You go and first look through that peephole, see who it is, probably put that latch and then again check. If it's someone known to you, you might open the door and let them into your living room. What you don't do is open up the house and say, oh, come sit here. This is my living room. This is my bedroom. This is my kitchen. This is my safe. Please help yourself to it. Be very guarded about it, right? We need to know who it is, what it is, everything. Now, if this is what you do to your physical space and you're so careful about it, imagine what you should be doing to your energetic space. You, as a person, your life has many compartments, many rooms to it. You can't just give access to anyone and everyone who rings the doorbell. You have to choose the person. And how do you do that? You have to let them know that any access that you're giving is a privilege they have to earn. It's not by default. So, maintaining healthy boundaries would mean that you know who gets access to what. Now, how to practically do that is what I'll discuss in part 2 of this video. Thank you. All right, so practical steps to maintaining a healthy boundary. Now, if I need to restrict access to someone into my house, I need to know where my doors and walls are. So, number one, what I'll do is I'll figure out what my set of values are. Okay, what works for me? What is a deal breaker for me? What's a definite no no for me? I need to know what they are. Now, they don't have to be like a standard set of values, they only have to make sense to you. Whatever you think is right for you is good for you. That's it. Number two, once you've figured out what your set of values are or ethics are, you need to learn the art of saying no. It's not that difficult, okay? If you must, then do one thing. Practice in front of a mirror how to say no sweetly, politely, but firmly. Practice till you get it right. And lastly, let go of your need to be validated. Most of the time, you're being forced to enforce a boundary because someone has already encroached upon your personal space. Say goodbye to toxic relationships. You don't need such people. You don't need validation. You don't need acknowledgement. That is the biggest problem. That's the biggest obstacle to setting a healthy boundary, is because your need to be validated is so strong. Part 3 will deal with why you have issues with setting healthy boundaries in the first place. Welcome to part 3 of the series, Maintaining Healthy Boundaries. And today I want to talk about why you have difficulty in setting a boundary and maintaining it. It all boils down to your view or perception of yourself, and this is very largely influenced by your childhood. If you've been the victim of abuse, physical, mental, or emotional, or you have been constantly invalidated as a child or young adult, you are going to think that your opinion doesn't matter, that what you have to say or what you have to fight for doesn't is not important. You have been told that you should not rock the boat, and there is a sort of there's a sort of social conditioning in you where keeping peace at all costs is favored by your family or friends. What happens in each of these scenarios is that you always made to feel like you are less than important. So therefore, do not speak up. Do not have any personal space. You are not important. You're supposed to blend in. With all this, what happens, and it's just really sad, is that you start identifying with your abusers more because that's your comfort zone. So instead of seeing abuse and fighting against it, you tend to recognize it as familiar and that continues in your life. So it's very important to start understanding what this is and get out of that comfort zone.